culture and development, youth and sports development, and advancing Africa's agenda globally. It is also a recognition of his critical role in the infrastructural and socio-economic development of his country as well as his people-friendly policies. He has continued to advocate for peace and free and fair elections in the ECOWAS sub-region, and this was demonstrated by a show of statesmanship and iconic posturing by accepting electoral loss and congratulating the winner. While he arguably had options as a sitting president, he chose the path of honor, peace, and the defense of democracy. His emergence reaffirms our position that he has remained one of the continent's leading light, as he had continued to demonstrate great faith in the African project, promoting African dignity and helping to change the negative narratives about the continent.
Before we could become journalists today, we are citizens. If there is no way that our country is safe, we cannot practice in our respective professions. When we are at war, pastors will not be respected to go to church to preach. When we are at war, medical doctors will not be able to go to hospitals except on a coercion or sanitary condition. When we are at war, lawyers will not be able to go to court to practice. That's why when you see these things happening, whether you are a lawyer, whether you are working a profession, you got to step down and protect your country so that that country will provide an avenue for you to be the kind of person that you want to be. And that's where we are now. What happened on yesterday was wrong. It's still wrong. And no matter what it is wrong. We are seeing things happening in this country, and people are now seeing it as being right because the Asa is there. And these are things that we got to be stand up. To be a patriot, you have to stand first on the side of the law, because the politicians will go away. The regime will pass away, but your country will stay. The law will stay. Your patriotism vow will continue to stay on. And these are things that we got to stand up for. It doesn't matter how people feel, what kind of side you want to be on. We just got to speak to the truth, and that is very much important.
I see in the next few months a nicer country, a very noisy country, rowdy country, a heavily divided country, a very tough economy, a sense of elitism by those who are coming at the hem of authority. The coming in of the Unity Party is going to multiply the economic woes, the economic conundrum, the economic quagmire, the suffering of the Liberian people is going to multiply. We are not prophets of doom, but the reality will come.
Mr. President, recently we witnessed the demolition of the CDC headquarters in Komothian, which was carried out through a court order. How does the administration ensure that such enforcement action are done fairly and without political interference?
The law is the law. It's not the government. It's the government implementation of the law. The police were ordered to do it, and they did it. Is that demolition is removal of the people from premises that don't belong to them according to the law.
Why will George Weah, who is tempted by Joseph Boakai, who was drowning in his Egypt land, who was dead, very red up, dirty, stink, you could find him passing around, practically dead and useless. Why will such a man conduct make you Weah vex that you will struck the whack and then lose God's own mission to take you to the promised land? That was the test of time today for George Weah. If George Weah had reacted, you are falling in the place of Moses.
The Liberian National Police commends the Congress for Democratic Change for the discipline, calm, and statesmanship demonstrated during the recent eviction process. Your respect for the rule of law, despite the deep sentimental value and history attached to the property, reflects a maturity that strengthens Liberia's democracy. This movement is not only a testament to CDC's leadership, but also a reminder to all political institutions and citizens that our democracy grows stronger when lawful decisions are honored peacefully.
Today, you have a rebel police director who thinks that he has arrived. And the worst thing about all these people, they all benefited from the magnanimity of George Weah. Ranging from people on the bench of the Supreme Court, they got letters from George Weah. If some of them choose to pay him back with evil, it's up to them. The very Gregory Coleman today, he worked in the previous administration when we came. He also got another letter again. If he chooses to do what he's doing, it's up to him. But one thing I can tell you for sure is this is how we had always been molded. That's how God has already molded we are and catapult him into success. He will suffer rejection, denigration, humiliation. That has been his life. How can you make somebody who has been down the line their shame? The person has gone through shame. They have gone through disgrace. They have done everything they cared. Whatever people thought and were laughing at them, they surmount everything and catapult themselves into becoming someone who is towering that the whole world can look at today. What more can you do? You think you're bringing that person down? You're just hurting yourself. In fact, what you are doing, you are destroying yourself. You know what it takes for you to pride in yourself of being bad? When people are looking for good image, you are happy in becoming a bad person. George Weah would never ever buy in to your tricks. George Weah would never ever buy in to your tricks. George Weah would never ever buy in to your tricks. George Weah would never ever buy in to your tricks. George Weah would never ever buy in to your tricks. George Weah would never ever buy in to your tricks. He would never ever.
There's nothing this president cannot do to make sure that George Weah is out of the way so he can, the United Party can continue to maintain the presidency. There's nothing this president cannot do to make sure that George Weah is out of the way so he can, the United Party can continue to maintain the presidency. There's nothing this president cannot do to make sure that George Weah is out of the way so he can, the United Party can continue to maintain the presidency. There's nothing this president cannot do to make sure that George Weah is out of the way so he can, the United Party can continue to maintain the presidency. There's nothing this president cannot do to make sure that George Weah is out of the way so he can, the United Party can continue to maintain the presidency. But I can tell you, this is a bad example.
Today, you have a rebel police director.
There's nothing this president cannot do to make sure that George Weah is out of the way so he can, the United Party can continue to maintain the presidency. But I can tell you, this is a bad example.
George Weah would never ever buy in to your tricks. He would never ever.
There's nothing this president cannot do to make sure that George Weah is out of the way so he can, the United Party can continue to maintain the presidency. But I can tell you, this is a bad example.
George Weah would never ever buy in to your tricks. He would never ever.
There's nothing this president cannot do to make sure that George Weah is out of the way so he can, the United Party can continue to maintain the presidency. But I can tell you, this is a bad example.
George Weah would never ever buy in to your tricks. He would never ever.
There's nothing this president cannot do to make sure that George Weah is out of the way so he can, the United Party can continue to maintain the presidency. But I can tell you, this is a bad example.
Before we could become journalists today, we are citizens. If there is no way that our country is safe, we cannot practice in our respective professions. When we are at war, pastors will not be respected to go to church to preach. When we are at war, medical doctors will not be able to go to hospitals except on a coercion or sanitary condition. When we are at war, lawyers will not be able to go to court to practice. That's why when you see these things happening, whether you are a lawyer, whether you are working a profession, you got to step down and protect your country so that that country will provide an avenue for you to be the kind of person that you want to be. And that's where we are now. What happened on yesterday was wrong. It's still wrong. And no matter what it is wrong. We are seeing things happening in this country and people are now seeing it as being right because their side is there. And these are things that we got to be stand up. To be a patriot, you have to stand first on the side of the law because the politicians will go away. The regime will pass away, but your country will stay. The law will stay. Your patriotism vow will continue to stay on. And these are things that we got to stand up for. It doesn't matter how people feel, what kind of side you want to be on. We just got to speak to the truth, and that is very much important.
His Excellency, George Weah, President of Liberia. Our board noted that His Excellency's victory as the African Political Leader of the Year 2023 is a testament to his contributions to promoting peace, African culture and development, youth and sports development, and advancing Africa's agenda globally. It is also a recognition of his critical role in the infrastructural and socio-economic development of his country as well as his people-friendly policies. He has continued to advocate for peace and free and fair elections in the ECOWAS sub-region, and this was demonstrated by a show of statesmanship and iconic posturing by accepting electoral loss and congratulating the winner. While he arguably had options as a sitting president, he chose the path of honor, peace, and the defense of democracy. His emergence reaffirms our position that he has remained one of the continent's leading light, as he had continued to demonstrate great faith in the African project, promoting African dignity and helping to change the negative narratives about the continent.
It's midweek, they say, in Monrovia, Liberia. It's midweek from Painesville City, ABC Community, Baptist Seminary, Kings 88.5 in Real Talk. May 6th, yes, 2026, the reign of Judah Christopher. What a day it is. We go real, irrespective of who is involved, the issues, whatever it is. Ultimately, we are just patriots and nationalists. Another day again, people. Thank you for joining us. I'm Sam Andrews. As always, Sam Andrews. Mighty, the creator and sustainer of the universe, the God who keeps watch over each and everybody, the God who is so good, so merciful, so kind to each and everyone. Ultimately, the God who gives the rulers time to repent of their rulership. Otherwise than that, they will experience the same as Nebuchadnezzar. He is that God we serve. We are grateful to him. He is God, having brought us into this day, this time, with the issues. We'll go real talk. This break, then we get ready.
Yo. Kings FM 88.5. The people them station. If you want truth, if you want clarity, tune in now. Real talk with Sandro. Real talk, 88.5. Oh. Kings FM bringing truth live on radio. Sam Andrew on the mic, make it loud and clear. From the 15 counties to the leader. Hi, everybody, yeah. From Sinker Road to Red Light Side 2. People, they ready, no more to hide. We talking politics, the nation matter. From market ground to big man parlor. Economy tight, the people, them feel it. But with real talk, we go reveal it. No sugar coating, no turning back. Now truth we bring in straight, no slack. Call the line, say your mind. This now your time, no fear, no blind. Voices rising across the counties, together strong, united we stand. Real talk, 88.5. Oh. Kings FM bringing truth live on radio. Sam Andrew on the mic, make it loud and clear. From the 16 counties to the leader. Hi, everybody, yeah. Corruption hiding, but like go shine. Accountability now, not the time. From Capitol Hill to community zone, the people them voice no go stay alone. Youth them rising, future bright. Speaking the truth, demanding their right. Education help we calling for 10. Real talk making system rearrange. Who get the station? Kings FM. Who get the voice? The people them. Who bring the truth? Sam Andrew. Say real talk. Hey, the sound from 88.5. We not playing, we keeping it live. From morning show to evening vibe. Real talk steady, keeping hope alive. Don't touch that dial, stay right here. Kings FM making vision clear. Real talk with Sam Andrew every time. Speaking for the people, one voice, one mind, guys. Alive. Don't touch that dial, stay right here. Kings FM making vision clear. Real talk with Sam and Drew every time. Speaking for the people, one voice, one mind, guys. System rearing. Who get the station? Kings FM. Who get the voice? The people them. Who bring the truth? Sam and Drew. Say real talk. Real talk. Hey, hey. Yeah, the sound from 88.5. We not playing, we keeping it live. From morning show to evening vibe. Real talk steady, keeping hope alive. Don't touch that dial, stay right here. Kings FM making vision clear. Real talk with Sam and Drew every time. Speaking for the people, one voice, one mind, guys.
Let's bring on some of you who have come on. There are many of you, but time can permit us to bring everybody on. Claudie Addison, you are on from Delaware, USA. Lofa Queen, Zeze Community, where is that? Johnson, Kelvin, ELWA Junction, that's ELWA Junction. Emmanuel Bro, USA, Minnesota. That's Jemima. Jemima what? Hey, my dear Southeastern sister, Dwight. Good to see you. Thank you. Thank you for loving the song. Yes. Each show has its own promo. This evening, listen to Face the Issues. And then in the morning, Israel. Wait, let's talk about it. Thank you for liking the song, the promo for the show, Dwight. You're there in Minnesota, USA. Morris Odua, McLean Street, Waterside, Caldwell, Wheeler, Magibby County, Samuel Cooper, Caldwell, Francis Jusu, Lofa County, Benita on Debbie, Johnsonville, Uptown, Va Johnson, Bone County, Eugene Jobo, Capital Bypass, Colin Banks, Moulton Corner, Broadville, Natuz Tear, Battery Factory, Japan Freeway, Lepei, Jerry Jr., Kakatat City, Magibby County, Benson, Weir, Silver, Washington, Broadville City, Obed, Dei, SD Community, SKD Community, Fatu Conan, Magibby County, Theophilus Kra, Grand Jita County, Songu Ayemi, Japan Freeway, Jeff Comonter, Setu Jabo, Johnsonville, Clarence Dwyer, your hustle area, Herentito Jr., Caldwell, Ibrahim Addison, Vavi Korak, the Gambia Banjul, Ibrahim Addison, Bapin Paul Lee, Johnsonville, Philip Tugba, Dallas, Texas, USA, Mansari Abdullah, JJY Community, Vinicius Bar, Nuku Town, Claudia Paul, Jeremiah Labla, So Clinic, Gaza, Rita Christine Hayes, Massachusetts, USA, Yasser Sharif, USA, Saturday Woodaway, Atlanta, Georgia, USA, my dear sister Orita Sunday Way Choir, there to you, hope that you are faring well. It is my understanding that you are okay. Thank you ever so much for everything, the support, the pieces of advice, the concern. Thank you so much. We are here, my dear sister Orita Sunday Way Choir. The chairman himself, Roman Rico, Kenneth Ball, or Latupan, fourth shot, chairman, Block Titan Intellectual Center. Okay. Thank you all for coming on. I appreciate all of you. We are always inspired by your presence. So it's another day in Liberia. We are transmitting from Painesville City, ABC Community, that's Baptist Seminary. A cozy atmosphere, unique atmosphere, one that represents a radio station, unlike the previous area where we were buried in noise, congested, and all kinds of stuff. Radio station should always be in a place that the atmosphere will accompany the broadcast. But when the atmosphere cannot accompany the broadcast, there's a problem. And that's the situation we were in. Very, very noisy all over the place, noise here and there. But everything works with time. So we find ourselves in a place representative of a broadcast entity. You need to take up time one day to come and see the new place. You will get so excited and say, good, it was better that you people left from over there. Everything works with time. So everything we give credit to the boss himself, the innovative leader, creative, teacher light, A.B. Wian, whose effort, futuristic thinking, and just everything has brought us this far. When you have a leader that is futuristic thinking towards the future or into the future, forecasting the future, putting in innovation, creativity, and every other thing, you see the dividend where we are. So unique. So thank you to all of you people, man. All of you people, one way or the other, you were part of this venture and you are still part of it. We can help but appreciate you. Your pieces of $5, $10 when we had the King Support basket, the little you were dropping in, you did not realize that something big was happening when we tell you that something is coming, working up something. We can tell you because we are not the ones to tell you. The boss himself will say all those things were doing. The boss was working behind the scene. And when the time came, everything got off the ground. So thank you for the support, whichever way you supported us with your finances, your pieces of advice, your moral support, your spiritual support. Thank you ever so much. But don't stop there. We still need you. It's not because we have relocated now. So you say, oh, okay, you people have arrived now. So we still need you. And you see, the numbers are still on the screen. Yeah. So we can tell you, stop. We still need you along the way. This thing, that 2029 business. When the president came to dedicate the place, he said, AB, I turn the place over to you. You will have to take it to another level. He said, you will take it to another level. And how AB going to take it to another level? Innovation. Together with your support, your help. Everything we need here. We have not reached the point where say, okay, you go, you stop. No, we still need you, but we're acknowledging what you did. Every penny, every dime, every nickel, every dollar you put in the basket made a significant contribution, play a significant part in the relocation. You did the job. We thank you, but we still need you. Don't give up. The numbers are on the screen. You can still drop in. We're still doing a lot more. I've been reading your comments while the bites were being played. You raised some concerns, yes, but we still need you people to sort out something so you can still drop in the basket. Keep dropping, yeah? All right, so let's get off what we have on our plate, and that will be doing it today. Everything about life, there is the rhetorical aspect. And the government, from the onset, we have always said despite all of the speculations, that the government knew what was unfolding. Nothing and nobody operates in a vacuum. Everything that happens for a reason, or a reason allows that to happen. Nothing operates and nobody operates in a vacuum. If something happens by accident, there is a reason for that accident. If it happens intentionally, there is a reason for that intentionality. Nothing happens for nothing. No. Please hold on. I'm getting a feedback. I think we should address that. Please. A minute.
Yo. Kings FM 88.5. The people them station. If you want truth, if you want clarity, tune in now. Real talk with Sandro. Real talk, 88.5. Oh. Kings FM bringing truth live on radio. Sam Andrew on the mic, make it loud and clear. From the 15 counties to the leader. Hi, everybody, yeah. From Sinker Road to Red Light Side 2. People, they ready, no more to hide. We talking politics, the nation matter. From market ground to big man parlor. Economy tight, the people, them feel it. But with real talk, we go reveal.
That's what we are. So, nothing and nobody operates in a vacuum. Moreover, when it is known and the conscience isn't clear, or when it is fishy, the person or institution or government will always try to put rhetorics to it. They will say, it's this, it's not this, how the public is perceiving it. That's not the reality. You heard about sand mining. You heard the government coming out and say no sand mining. You heard the minister of local government now saying, no, if anybody claim that I am doing sand mining, I am ready to tender my resignation. The speculations and claims and counterclaims were all over the place. The three leaders of the Mana River Union met in Conakry, Guinea. Before then, the head of ECOWAS, who is the president of Sierra Leone, Julius Maada Bio, opted not to go to Guinea by himself, as it is the custom. President Boakai will go with his delegation. Julius Maada Bio will go with his delegation. Dumuya, the host, there with his delegation. When the meeting was called by Julius Maada Bio in his capacity as head of ECOWAS, he opted to fly with Joseph Yema Boakai, or that Joseph Yema Boakai, president of Liberia, will fly with him to Guinea, something that has not happened. There was a reason for that. And that reason, as we have come to know, was to have a discussion and reach an agreement on this whole border dispute. Sierra Leone involved, Liberia involved, but Sierra Leone has an understanding that it is not entirely Sierra Leone. Liberia has an understanding it is not entirely Liberia. So because the two leaders were caught between the scissors, they tried to figure out a way by which it would not be seen as betraying their people. Guineans' insistence by occupation on the land was not with any act of military might they were showcasing, or they were forcing a land from Liberia? No. As far as the people knew and still know, the land is theirs legitimately. And come to think of it, who has a legitimate right over a property will not claim it. Only a person who does not have a legitimate right over a property will attempt to scheme to get it. The one who has every absolute authority will not hasten, will not do anything fishy, but will go to protect his or her property. So all the wahala we've been hearing here and there, Guinea's insistence to be on the land as theirs, yes. Guinea's military spokesman came out recently to clear the air, putting everything at the feet of Guinea, of Sierra Leone, and Liberia. Guinea military spokesman, Ansumani Tumani Kamara, that's how he's called. He said, the president of Liberia, Joseph Yoma Boakai, and the president of Sierra Leone, Julius Maada Bio, know the situation of the land they currently occupy, but they do not want to tell the people of their respective countries the truth. He said they know. Their occupation was not by any forceful means to claim a land that is not theirs. That the land is theirs, they have every legitimacy of the land. He went further, speaking on state television in Conakry, Guinea, that President Joseph Yoma Boakai and Julius Maada Bio quietly, covertly, secretly, but consciously handed over, please listen carefully, I'm quoting him word for word, handed over. Hand over means, yeah, you can have it. We are off. Handed over disputed territories at a Mano River Union summit in Conakry. That meeting they went to, the three leaders, and you heard that they issued a communique. What they did not say to their respective people in that communique, or we put in that communique, we surrender our rights, if we ever had any rights, to Guinea, that this land is Guinea's land legitimately. Please listen carefully. I'm about to play the guy. The voice over, two voices, two categories you will listen to carefully. Those of you who speak French, understand French, fine. I opted to bring the French version so you can say Kings 88.5 is faking. There is the voice over. Voice over means the person is speaking, but the English is not clear, or the person is speaking a different language and there is an interpreter. That's what is referred to as voice over. He's being interviewed and then the voice over, the person is explaining. After that, you will hear the next version you will hear is the French version. The guy said, these two leaders of Liberia and Guinea, they signed saying, Guinea, we wash our hands, the land for you. Take it. He described as mere misunderstanding the standoff at Solomon, the bordered area. Not only that, he explained where they were convinced that these two leaders conceded and gave up. He said at the meeting, the three leaders reviewed reviewed, and after reviewing, they endorsed a 1907 colonial treaty. Treaty means agreement, understanding, awarding Guinea the entire, award means to give, awarding Guinea the entire Maconan River and surrounding areas. Let's go down to the two voices. Listen carefully as the military spokesperson will explain. And the first one is the voice over. He sat on state television, just as our Minister of Information would sit on state television called LBS, just as the military spokesperson would sit on state television and explain. It is the normal. They get on their radios, their journalists are concerned, asking them what is the situation with this Solomon border misunderstanding between our country, our president, the president of Liberia, the president of Sierra Leone. Just as our journalists here are curious and critical, so their journalists on that side are also curious and critical. So they kept on pressing the Guinean people, the military, the politicians too, were raising concerns. They are still raising concerns. So Ansel Manning decided to give an interview on state television to explain. Here is the voice over. Please listen carefully. He's been interviewed.
Sir, you are the Director of Public Relations for the Armed Forces and also the spokesperson for the Ministry of National Defense. We will talk about this border situation. First question. Can we really talk about a crisis at Guinea's borders? Mr. Camara, thank you for having me on national television. We must be clear. There is no crisis between Guinea and its neighbors. These are simply localized incidents between communities that have lived together for centuries, sharing history, geography, and culture. So we cannot talk about a deep crisis because there were no clashes, and the state has remained in control of the situation. These were just minor incidents between neighboring populations. Interviewer: what exactly caused these tensions? Mr. Camara: first, there was the case of Kadaya in the Sandinia subprefecture, Farana region, where Sierra Leonean soldiers entered Guinean territory without authorization. This caused tension, but it was quickly controlled. The soldiers were handed over to Guinean authorities, taken to Conakry, and later returned to Sierra Leone after discussions. The second case was at the Liberian border in Cassini, on the other side of the Macona River. There were misunderstandings where some Liberian communities claimed part of the land as theirs. In response, the state deployed security forces along the borders to protect territorial integrity and ensure free movement of people and goods. Interviewer: why was the tripartite summit organized? Mr. Camara: the Mano River Union includes Liberia, Sierra Leone, Guinea, and Côte d'Ivoire, and Guinea currently holds the rotating presidency. President Mamadi Doumbouya organized the summit in line with Article 33 of the UN Charter, which encourages peaceful resolution of disputes through negotiation. He invited the presidents of Liberia and Sierra Leone to sit and talk as a family. This helped reduce tensions and led to meaningful discussions. Interviewer: what were the key conclusions of the summit? Mr. Camara: first, it helped calm tensions on the ground. Second, historical agreements were reviewed. The most important point concerns the Makona River. According to the 1907 agreements, the river clearly belongs to Guinea. Both the Liberian and Sierra Leonean presidents acknowledged this during the summit. He also added, "There is another agreement between Guinea and Sierra Leone involving border demarcation carried out between 1882 and 1912. During colonial times, France and Britain, these agreements clearly define the borders." Conclusion. The presidents of Liberia and Sierra Leone agreed to respect these historical agreements, recognizing that the disputed areas belong to Guinea. Interviewer. So Guinea has not lost any territory? Mr. Kamara. Absolutely not. Let it be clearly stated. No part of Guinea's territory has been occupied or given away. Everything remains under Guinea's authority, and this has been confirmed again during the summit. Interviewer. Why is the army now reducing its presence at the borders? Mr. Kamara. Guinea has a long history of contributing to peace and stability in Africa. The gradual withdrawal of forces is in line with the summit's conclusions to reduce tensions and prioritize dialogue. However, this does not mean weakness. The army remains vigilant and ready to protect national territory, the population, and national sovereignty. The people are encouraged to continue their activities peacefully, as there is no conflict between the three countries. Final message. No territory was lost. The Makona River is recognized as Guinean. Tensions have been reduced. Dialogue is ongoing. The army remains a...
That is the voice over or was the voice over. Year 8. No voice over to this one. If you can understand French, fine. Those of you who can understand, I opted to bring it so we can say Kings FM doing their own thing, the people that opposition station, because we her opposition station, we're telling the truth as if we are not citizens of this country. We aren't against the government, but it is our responsibility to tell the people the truth, to expose the truth to the people so they will know. So here is the same spokesperson with the same explanation. What you listened to was the voice over because he does not speak English. Here is the no voice over this one.
La DIRPA, c'est la Direction de l'information et des relations publiques des armées. Vous êtes également le porte-parole du ministère de la Défense nationale. Nous allons donc parler de ce conflit frontalier. Première question, Monsieur Kamara. Est-ce que tout d'abord peut-on parler d'une crise aux frontières de la Guinée?
Bien, merci de nous avoir reçus sur ce plateau de la télévision nationale. Il faut être précis là-dessus. Il n'y a pas de crise entre la Guinée et ses voisins. Il s'agit de simples incidents localisés entre des citoyens qui, depuis des siècles, vivent ensemble, partagent l'histoire, partagent la géographie et la culture. Donc, on ne parlera pas de crise profonde parce qu'il n'y a pas eu d'affrontement et l'État est resté maître de la situation jusqu'à date. Donc, nous ne parlons pas de crise entre les États, il s'agissait seulement de simples incidents entre des populations voisines.
Alors, concrètement, quels sont les événements qui ont conduit à cette tension?
Bien, il faut se rappeler qu'il y a eu tout d'abord le cas de Koudaya. Koudaya, c'est dans la sous-préfecture de Sandénia, préfecture de Farana, où des soldats léonais sont rentrés sur le territoire guinéen sans autorisation et cela a créé des incidents vite maîtrisés puisque les 16 soldats léonais plutôt qui étaient venus sur le territoire ont été mis à la disposition des autorités militaires de la Guinée et ils sont venus à Conakry. Les négociations ont commencé et ces soldats ont été remis aux autorités léonaises. Le deuxième cas, c'est au niveau de la frontière avec le Libéria, précisément à Kisene, et c'est sur l'autre rive du fleuve Makona. À cet endroit aussi, ce sont là des situations qui ont dégénéré, pas dégénéré en affrontement, mais il y a eu des incompréhensions où des populations libériennes réclamaient une portion de cette partie comme étant le territoire libérien. Et c'est ce qui a fallu prévalu à ces différentes situations qu'on a connues. Et finalement, nous avons vu que l'État a pris toutes les dispositions nécessaires. Le déploiement était déjà sur place puisque tout au long des frontières, il faut le préciser, que tout au long de nos frontières aujourd'hui, la sécurité, elle est là et les services de défense et de sécurité sont permanemment déployés pour vraiment la sauvegarde de notre intégrité territoriale, mais aussi la libre circulation de la population et de ses biens.
That's Camara. No voiceover. The first one was the voiceover. What you heard from the voiceover is the same as what you just listened to. Simply put, the man said all those things you people in Liberia were saying, you just didn't know. Your leaders didn't tell you. They came here, they fake. They pretended. So you can see what Marabio said, Bwaka, don't go ahead. Come here, let's go together. Let's have a discussion how. Let's have one agreement. Let's be in one accord. At the meeting, you should not be saying something different. I'm saying something different. That's the reason Marabio called Joseph Boakai to fly with him. And they reached that agreement and they betrayed their two countries. You think Guinea was sitting over there and Guinea State sitting there because of military might? That some of you understood it because Guinea taking our land, Guinea taking our land. In this country, people have to learn. You have to be philosophical. What that means is you don't hear something, somebody says something, and you just take it to you run with it. You have to reason. Find out whether it is true or not. You validate. You have few Liberians over there. Put the flag up. Is it all Liberians? The Liberians are ready. Hey, politicians. Weaklings in this country called politicians. Instead of being sober, they got excited to praising those people. When we told you that it was a Rex, the only reason Guinea did not move on those Liberians because they knew the land was the land is there. So they stood up with their arms, looking at those Liberians putting the flag up. They did not bother. They could move on them and remove them from there in a twinkling of an eye militarily. But they decided to pursue cautious approach. When something for you is for you. Instead of the people coming back home and say, look, gentlemen, here is it. We have this 1907 agreement, just like the Bakassi Peninsula that lasted for several years. At the end of the day, a resolution was reached. Instead of the two leaders going back to their respective people and explain to them what it is, they remain muted. The justice minister had the audacity to go to the information ministry and threaten people that if anyone spoke about the border dispute, they'll be arrested and jailed. You cannot use intimidatory tactics to stifle free speech when you are wrong, when you know that you have faltered. So when Yaka said the land belongs to the people, Yaka was right. You're the Guinean man. Now they can't dispute this man. Yaka was right. And all of you people, the Sumo Moluba, whom they use as surrogate to lead a campaign to expel Yaka Koluba, you have to listen to this man. And all of you representatives, you call yourself representatives, you're sat down there and you say you're signing resolution. You need to listen to this Guinean military spokesman. The man said Boakai and Marabio sold the land. They gave it out. They said that your land, take it. The land not for us. You take it, that your land. You owe Yeke apology. You apologize to Yeke. When we tell you that President Boakai is very evil, you will not believe it. Yeah, Yeke is vindicated. Yeke is vindicated. And all of you representatives that signed that resolution, Boakai he just made you people, he just, how should I say it? He sees you people as clowns, as comedians, as people of no value, no essence in terms of reasoning. You say Yeke was the bad man. The wickedest man is Joe Boakai. Instead of coming back to tell the people the truth, he remained muted. The people stay there. And you say Yeke committed treason. What's the treason now? Guinea said the land for them. Boakai said yes. The land for you take it. Marabio said the land for you take it. They are making noise all over. You people were making noise all over the place. You see how the people made your shame? Your own leaders, instead of you people querying Boakai to the core, instead of the legislature summoning Boakai to explain, I'm sure Boakai too must have told some of those senators, because he had closed-door meeting. Probably he must have explained. And they kept muted. So Yeke out of the place now. Yeke is not a representative again. But everyone knows that they lie on Yeke. Yeke was right when Yeke said the land is Guinea lands. And yet the people confirm it. The man said the land are Guinea land. The land are for Liberia. Hold on, Chief. Hold on, I beg you. Hold on. Let's go to this one. Let's have a listen again.
Sir, you are the Director of Public Relations for the Armed Forces and also the spokesperson for the Ministry of National Defense. We will talk about this border situation. First question. Can we really talk about a crisis at Guinea's borders? Mr. Kamara, thank you for having me on national television. We must be clear. There is no crisis between Guinea and its neighbors. These are simply localized incidents between communities that have lived together for centuries, sharing history, geography, and culture. So we cannot talk about a deep crisis because there were no clashes, and the state has remained in control of the situation. These were just minor incidents between neighboring populations. Interviewer: what exactly caused these tensions? Mr. Kamara: first, there was the case of Kadaya in the Sandinia subprefecture, Farana region, where Sierra Leonean soldiers entered Guinean territory without authorization. This caused tension, but it was quickly controlled. The soldiers were handed over to Guinean authorities, taken to Conakry, and later returned to Sierra Leone after discussions. The second case was at the Liberian border in Cassini, on the other side of the Makona River. There were misunderstandings where some Liberian communities claimed part of the land as theirs. In response, the state deployed security forces along the borders to protect territorial integrity and ensure free movement of people and goods. Interviewer: why was the tripartite summit organized? Mr. Kamara: the Mano River Union includes Liberia, Sierra Leone, Guinea, and Côte d'Ivoire, and Guinea currently holds the rotating presidency. President Mamadi Doumbouya organized the summit in line with Article 33 of the UN Charter, which encourages peaceful resolution of disputes through negotiation. He invited the presidents of Liberia and Sierra Leone to sit and talk as a family. This helped reduce tensions and led to meaningful discussions. Interviewer: what were the key conclusions of the summit? Mr. Kamara: First, it helped calm tensions on the ground. Second, historical agreements were reviewed. The most important point concerns the Makona River. According to the 1907 agreements, the river clearly belongs to Guinea. Both the Liberian and Sierra Leonean presidents acknowledged this during the summit. He also added, "There is another agreement between Guinea and Sierra Leone involving border demarcation carried out between 1882 and 1912. During colonial times, France and Britain, these agreements clearly define the borders." Conclusion: the presidents of Liberia and Sierra Leone agreed to respect these historical agreements, recognizing that the disputed areas belong to Guinea. Interviewer: so Guinea has not lost any territory? Mr. Kamara: absolutely not. Let it be clearly stated. No part of Guinea's territory has been occupied or given away. Everything remains under Guinea's authority, and this has been confirmed again during the summit. Interviewer: why is the army now reducing its presence at the borders? Mr. Kamara: Guinea has a long history of contributing to peace and stability in Africa. The gradual withdrawal of forces is in line with the summit's conclusions to reduce tensions and prioritize dialogue. However, this does not mean weakness. The army remains vigilant and ready to protect national territory, the population, and national sovereignty. The people are encouraged to continue their activities peacefully, as there is no conflict between the three countries. Final message: no territory was lost. The Makona River is recognized as Guinean. Tensions have been reduced. Dialogue is ongoing. The army remains a...
That will be doing it for that. So you have an understanding now that the land is truly not Liberia. It was just a showmanship the government was on. President Boakai knew exactly. You heard the guy said they agreed that they land that entire area for Guinea, and Guinea should have it. That is the reason Guinea remains there till this moment. The military presence is there, and you heard the guy. He said they're going to increase, in fact, a buffer. They're going to build a buffer and increase the military presence, meaning they are suspicious. They're not too satisfied with Liberia and Guinea. The guy started by saying Guinea, Sierra Leone made an incursion, a covert operation, secretly enter. So with that, they have now moved to take the necessary precautionary military measures by building a buffer and increasing the military might so that nobody infiltrates again. Why couldn't the government tell the people the truth? You claim other people adore, you say, Joe, we adore. But all the agreements and other things that Liberia had prior to we are coming to power and CDC enter, where there was dispute, there was disclosure of the reason or reasons. Why rescue will not tell the people the truth? Why Joseph Yemabwaga will be that deceptive? It's wrong. You can't do that. That's not leadership. And then they use Yeke as a surrogate cover-up to hide the truth. Yeke is out, but the truth has not been crushed. Martin Luther King said, no lie lives forever. Truth crushed to earth will rise again. And this truth that the land belongs to Guinea has risen. They tried to crush it. But it is clear. It is Guinea's land. You restore Yeke. You reinstate Yeke because you said Yeke said the land belongs to Guinea. He can be a representative and go against the sovereignty of the country. So dull of a man called Sumo Molba. You can see the puppet in that man. You can see how the guy, these Unity Party people, they look for certain representatives whom they know they are mentally weak. They are vulnerable to few United States dollars. So they use them as they did with Sumo Molba. The man can hardly explain himself. Say the man committed treason. The other ones too. When we told you people, it was not solely about the Guinea stuff. They had always wanted, looking for a chance to get rid of Yeke. Just as they were looking for a chance to get rid and silence Prophet Key. They had always wanted, they've been searching for a means by which they will get rid of Yeke. And so when he made that statement that if the land belongs to Guinea, which he wasn't wrong at all, they say he committed treason. So what is it now? Has Liberia taken the land back from Guinea? Has Liberia gone in militarily? Bouaka went and entered agreement. Your Unity Party people that are all over the place. Tani. Just as Andrew Gillikin, during the Tony Blair era, said Tony Blair sexed the dossier. The same way I can say Joe Bouaka sexed the dossier. He made the fun of you people. He used you people. Bouaka made the fun. Bouaka made you people to be screaming and shouting and yelling all over the place as if you're more Liberia than Yeke, than any other person that was saying the truth. Here we are today. Guinea said the two leaders, they did sign and say, Guinea, the land is for you. Take your land. When we're saying things, well, the people that are opposition radio, the opposition poll, yeah, we opposition. Everybody can be on the same side, but we are truth tellers. We tell the truth. We are against nobody. We are not against the country. But our responsibility is to expose the lies and bring out the truth. Bouaka did lie to the people. This situation, if it is sound country, Bouaka will be impeached. A sound legislature, not a partisan legislature, will put an impeachment bill on the floor for Bouaka. Bouaka lied. He lied. The man signed the document. He put his signature there according to Kamara. He and Manabio. That's why the two of them just came and sat quietly speechless. And then you mumu all around the place, Unity Party, mumuns, and I can see why, President, we are referred to you people as multi-banks and charlatans. Because your own people see the narrow-mindedness in you. So they use you. They see the surrogacy in you. You went against Yeke for no reason. Yeah, is it? If the land is for you, if something is for you legitimately, won't you take it? You will. Why Liberia has not taken the land? Why Liberia is not making any attempt if the land is for her? Why? Why Liberia is seated, speechless? They have forgotten about it. They ain't doing nothing. They ain't even thinking about it. Because Bouaka signed, according to Kamara, Bouaka signed that agreement in the presence of their President Dumuya. He signed. Manabio signed and say the land for Guinea. The guy said they reviewed the document. After reviewing the document, they saw in the document that yes, they land here for Guinea. And so they came to endorse. Endorse means to accept. So they gave up. Say, you bring the document. Let's sign the communique. You say? They say they signed the communique. The Marabio on the left, Bouaka on the right, and Dumoya in the middle. They're holding the document like this, the communique. Then the Unity Party people, they start using the small money. the three leaders of the Mano River Union, all for peace, opposition shame, opposition day. Joe Bwaka has leadership. Bwaka has the most terrible leadership. This alone is tantamount to Bwaka impeachment. You know, Bwaka committed. What they brought against Yeke was what Bwaka did. If anybody is to be impeached, if anybody is to be removed, if anybody who lie on sovereignty line is Joseph Yuma Bwaka. He lied. And you have people all over the place that are doing all kinds of things, saying all kinds of things. Those ones sitting down there call themselves representatives. Don't even know their left from right. The only thing they are excited, honorable. Look at this kind of thing. The man said, Bwaka sign. Marabio sign. He said, Guinea the land for you. We wash our hands. You think the Guineans stupid? The two mumus in that situation, Sierra Leone President Marabio and our President Joseph Bwaka, the two mumus. Dumuya, the man is clever. That why the man was not rushing on anything. He told the people, you just be there. We have the document here. Oh, no. Because Bwaka is vindictive, he's politically vindictive, he tried not to go historical. Dumuya is a military man before becoming a civilian leader. And he used common sense page 1. Let's review whatever document associated with this place. Let us look at it before we make any advancement. Nobody should go to that border. Nobody should go to that river. Do we have documents? Right there, the men people say yes. And they brought all of the documents. Clear. The men say, right. This is our legitimacy. This is our backing. Mr. Defense Minister, you can now send people to the Makona River, Solumba border with Liberia, and be there until otherwise order. Liberia too, instead of looking, say, let us wait, let us not rush. Let us look at some documents around here. What are the military historians who have, the historical people? For Bwaka to call those people into it, they ran to him. Oh, the Guineans occupying Liberia land. Guinea occupying. Doll of a man called himself president. Come on. I in Bwaka position. I was not just hasting. We'll call for document. Land issue. Land issue has to do with document. All the things we're seeing around here, what the people can require in that document, they say bring your deeds, bring your dates, bring your that. You, as a leader, the first thing you want to bring to mind is the legitimacy of a place. Is that place truly ours? Do we have any legal document to claim that property as ours? That's what you want to think. They used to say, oh, George Weah could not think independently. George Weah was mentally weak, and Samuel Tweeden, you are depending on Samuel Tweeden thinking for him. Joseph Bwaka. Joseph Bwaka, the man who claimed to have 500 years experience, he could not use common sense page 1. Common sense page 1, they say, do a validation before action. Validation means you must review to know whether the thing is yours or not, whether you are not being misled by your people. When you have that and have it before you, and then you read it over and over, you analyze it, and the information is true, then you are ready. He did not do any one of those things. They use him. They use him as a puppet. Yeah, Guinea now. Guinea people say, your president's son, Joseph Bwaka's son, Marabio's son. Communique means a document. At the end of the writing of that communique, they gave it to them. If there are 5 persons, 3 persons, 4 persons, that copy will go around. They will give you a chance to review it with your advisors. Communique is not force. It's an agreement reached between, by, and through 2 or 3 or 4 or more persons on a specific issue. When that communique is drafted by the drafters, it is given to each participant to review. So it was given to President Boakai to review it alongside his people. It was given to Mada Bio, the Guinean president, and his people review it. The reason for that is if you're not satisfied with any line in it, you're not satisfied with a letter, you're not satisfied with a word, you're not satisfied with a sentence, you're not satisfied with a phrase, you're not satisfied with a paragraph, you have the right to express it and it will be corrected. A communique is not impressed on people, it's not pushed on people. A communique is with the conviction, the conscience, having gone through it, and you affix your signature. They did. That's why the guy used the word endorse. He used two words. He said reviewed and endorse. They review it. The agreement, the 1907 agreement, they review it. And they saw that in the 1907 agreement that the land belongs to Guinea, every area around there. So they conceded. Now, when the people prepared the communique now, Boakai said, there's nothing we can do. He signed. Mada Bio said, there's nothing we can do. They signed. Have you heard anything? Is there any update from Guinea? You please help me, help us. If there's any update from the Liberian angle, have you seen Liberian officials and supporters and fanatics or fans of Unity Party posing on Facebook as the way they were had from the beginning? Lately, have you seen any? No. Because everyone have conceded. They said nothing. All right. So at least you know now that Yeke, they just, whether Yeke was presuming, whether Yeke was guessing, Yeke is right. Yeke rightness, not because he knew by document that the land belongs to Guinea, but it's because Guinea has confirmed that the land belongs to it, and Liberia president signed the communique, Guinean president signed the communique endorsing that the land is for you. So that makes Yeke Koluba assumption or presumption or guess or just run right. They add substance to it. I don't think Yeke knew about the 1907 agreement. He must have said what he said from an emotional, political standpoint, anger against the government. So with Guinea confirming or reinforcing, it adds substance to what he said that the land belongs to Guinea. Let's go home with this one. President Weah's statement is hurting badly Unity Party supporters. President Boakai is hurt by what President Weah has said, or what he said over the weekend, what he wrote. It is paining them. They are uncomfortable. And to tell you honestly, it is badly affecting Unity Party. They know that it is widening the country. The division is widening by the day. Moreover, the reaction from government officials are not going well, not going down well with Joseph Boakai himself, but he does not know how to neutralize it because the damage has already been caused. When President Weah said that he took care of, he sent Boakai to hospital, the unruly Deputy Information Minister Daniel Sano, as usual, will come out with a rant. In his press conference yesterday, He said all that President Weah did for Joseph Yuma Boakai was President Boakai in opposition, former vice president, entitlement. Entitlement. Now, I'm not going to run into that, what entitlement is. Well, no. But we know that entitlement simply means something that a person has to receive based on his work, based on it is his earning for work. That it is not a favor being rendered by a person or an institution, something that one labor for. So he said, Daniel Sano said, what President George Weah did for Joseph Yuma Boakai was Boakai's entitlement. He did not render President Boakai in opposition, then former vice president, and in favor. Here is it. Daniel Sano wrong. They did not know. They don't know how to give a defense. Defense means reasoning. Giving people a full understanding. Defense is not shouting and screaming. Defense is not when you go vulgar and ballistic. Defense is reasoning. Just like the lawyers are in the court, they put reasoning to the floor. That's what a defense is. When you see the lawyers in court, they are giving a defense. Even if the prosecution is the prosecution, that is a defense the prosecution giving, meaning the one that is against the defense. The defense is giving a defense, meaning they are putting reasoning to the table. When they call you to say X, Y, Z, they call you to give a defense. That means to put reason to the table that they will see, they will understand by their understanding. The same way with public address. When a minister takes to the podium to give a defense in support of President Boakai and does not know how to reason, then his defense is irrelevant. President Boakai, according to Daniel Sano, what President Weah did, taking him to hospital, paying his hospital bills, he did not deny that. That's good. He did confirm what the president said. And then he said the president should not take credit for it. It's unethical when somebody did something, or you did something for a person and then you talk about it. So here is it. President George Weah did a personal gesture. I opted to dismiss the word entitlement. It wasn't an entitlement. It was a personal, life-saving move by President George Weah to Joseph Yuma Boakai. And here is the reason. If we would use Daniel Sando statement or word entitlement, then President Boakai did use all his money. So the CDC government was giving his entitlement. Not a single day or time or month or year that President Weah reneged or delayed in sending Vice President, former Vice President Joseph Yuma Boakai entitlement. What did he do? What did he do with the financial entitlement? What did he do? He said that it was the president, the vice president entitlement granted. So how did he manage the entitlement? Entitlement means your stipend, or I don't know how they call it, car and every other thing. Hey God, I just forgot, but I will bring it on tomorrow so that you will see the video. President Weah went to the house of President Boakai, vice president then, former vice president, entered the house, greeted him. His officials greeted the former vice president. And before President Weah sat down, he gave a package or a purse to the former vice president, which he received graciously. He started smiling, and then President Weah went and sat as they continued the discussion. That image or that video will come up tomorrow so you can see. Everything President Weah did for Joseph Yeman Boakai is on record. Vice President Boakai did nothing, absolutely nothing for President Weah. They came, say walk by, the CDC people were saying, about CDC people, or everybody talking here and there, everybody talking, the CDC officials then, they're not organized. One thing, they can leave it with the Minister of Information to address it. They're usurping the Minister of Information position. All CDC officials then talking all over the place, they're reacting to all the things. That's the same thing they're doing. So one assistant minister said, Boakai gave President Weah car. How can Boakai give President Weah car in opposition vice president when Boakai was sick, dying? Boakai did not have a penny. But we have multiple records, videos, pictorial evidence of President Weah supporting this man. So the deputy minister said it was the former vice president entitlement, meaning President Weah did not render him a personal favor to pay his hospital bills. But it is not within the law that a certain president takes the responsibility of the medical bill of a former president or former vice president. So is Daniel Sano telling us now, let's assume that President Weah isn't feeling well, that Joe Boakai should resume the medical responsibility of President Weah? No. The President Weah, whether he receiving it, I don't know, but that's the law. So let's go within the law. That President Weah, Unity Party is giving President Weah his entitlement. Meaning, as President Weah receives his entitlement, he knows how to manage it. It is not the current president or the government will tell him how to manage it or how to use it, how not to use it. But he is receiving. So if he squander everything and there is no money and then he falls sick and President Boakai comes and take responsibility, it's personal. It's no longer an entitlement because the entitlement was received. Simple reasoning. The CDC government, headed by President George Weah, never reneged on giving President Joseph Yeman Boakai his entitlement. Moreover, as far as we know, President Weah went to the extra mile by sending money to him on a regular basis. Why was President Weah doing that apart from his entitlement? So that he would do other things. But he was receiving his benefits, he was receiving his entitlement, he was receiving everything. It was unto him to manage. Because he did not manage his entitlement, his monetary entitlement, he went broke to the extent that he could not do anything financially to keep himself alive medically. So when the illness got serious, he fell off, as we were told by the former Vice President Joe Howard Taylor, that she called President Weah, and immediately President Weah moved in. President Weah could have said, the man receiving his entitlement. We send the man entitlement so he can use whatever he has to go to the hospital. And President Weah would have been right. Yes. So that was not an entitlement. President Weah's taking Joseph Yuma Boakai to hospital was not an entitlement as former vice president. He did receive his entitlements on a regular basis. He needed to manage it because he knew that the future, anything will happen. The reason why people save is because they don't know the future. That's why people are urged not to be extravagant and wasteful, because you can tell when you have an emergency. So what happened? Daniel Sano should have known the difference between personal gesture and entitlement. Boakai was receiving his entitlement, but he languished, he misused his entitlement. If he had money, he would have gone to hospital. President Weah wouldn't have gone in with that emergency. Because he squandered every dollar he had. He went broke completely. He could not afford. President Weah moved in on a personal note. It was not President Weah compulsion to have done what he did, because the former vice president was receiving his entitlement. So those of you who are arguing on entitlement ground, put reason to the floor. Ask yourself, what did President Boakai do with his monetary entitlement? Did he save money? Wasn't he saving money? Why didn't he have money to seek medical treatment abroad in his capacity as former vice president? Because he squandered his entitlement. It was not President Weah's responsibility to take him to hospital, but President Weah saw it as a need to do because he is a human being and his condition was a dire one, a debilitating one, a terrifying one, was just few hours away from the grave and needed him to be alive still. And God said, George, you have to help him because God uses people to save people's life. How can Daniel Sanders say that was entitlement? It was not entitlement. Yeah, AB giving us our entitlement. AB giving us our entitlement here at Kings FM. Then we just lavish our entitlement. We just misuse. Then something happened. Then we say, oh, we employ you at Kings FM. So AB is under obligation. Oh, but then what happened with our entitlement? And what did we do with it? Common sense. What they're not admitting, or what they don't want to admit, is Boakai squandered his entitlement. He did receive his entitlements, his monetary entitlements. I'm not talking about the money, the material entitlement, the financial entitlement. He did receive every dime, every nickel, every dollar, every cent, but he squandered everything. So when his illness got serious, no money to go out. No money. He did not trust JFK, and his condition did not require him going to JFK. When it reached the president, President Weah said, no. We have to fly him out of this country. It wasn't government's money that Weah used. It's personal money. So what there? It's not about entitlement. You Unity Party people, you don't argue this thing on entitlement. No, entitlement means everything that you are entitled to as an employee. You receive it, and it's up to you to manage. Every dime, every nickel, every cent we receive here from AB as employees, it's all to us to manage. If we can manage it and something happen, how can we come to AB and say, we want our entitlement, or it is our entitlement that you take responsibility for our XYZ? Will it make any sense? No. You can remember when President Boakai, when Vice President Boakai, then former Vice President, said they squander every opportunity. There are some of the things he was saying. Now look at former President Sirleaf. Why former President Sirleaf, as frail as she was prior to becoming more frail as she is now, she felt sick along the way. Why? The report did not reach to President Weah, and President Weah's left farm means to carry the woman out. Because all that she got from the presidency as her entitlement, she saved. She saved. Y'all look at Ellen Johnson Sirleaf and Joseph Yeman Boakai. Who is frail? Who is more frail? Ellen Johnson Sirleaf. Have you heard one day that Ellen Johnson Sirleaf has this medical stuff and there's no money to go out? Have you heard her saying that she is entitled to her entitlement and it is not given to her, or that people are arguing the reason she out of the country because it is her entitlement? Her personal savings from the earnings as president. Look at the two people since Ellen left the presidency, along with Joseph Yeman Boakai. In a couple of months, President Boakai ran out of money. But he was receiving his entitlement, his monetary entitlement. He was receiving that. President Weah never reneged on giving his entitlement as former vice president. Besides his entitlement, President Weah will go on a personal level, saw him as a father, and gave him extra money. Dependable nephew confirm it. His own dependable nephew said, we are sent money to him. We are gave the money to him. He cause I care. I ain't even talking about Kalasco, because Kalasco part a regular something. We are gave money to this man besides his entitlement. But the argument is that I'm sending across. Let no unity party person argue on entitlement ground. What President Weah did by sending him to hospital was personal. Boakai been receiving his entitlements. He been receiving his entitlements. The question is, what did he do? Did he save? Didn't he know that he was aging and he will get sick one day? Didn't he know that he will come across or situation will befall him that he will need money? He wasn't thinking that way. He squandered everything. Then you argue, Daniel Sanone arguing entitlement. Thank God you people not arguing that he did not receive a dime from CDC government. Thank God that you people are not arguing that he didn't receive his entitlement. You people are confirming that what the president did was entitlement. Certainly not. It was not entitlement. The question you people need to ask, what did he do with his monetary, his financial entitlement received from the former government? What did he do to keep himself up? All right. That will be doing it. Thank you ever so much. Those are the 2 pointers. Let's get to the lines. Before then, let's read some of your comments. Precious Dekukai. Good to see you. Thank you for coming on. And thank you for showing up at the program. That was good. We in your area now. We in your area. Well, way in time, you say, oh, we in your area now. I know the get town chief. So the female head of the town is called what? You say, what? How is that person called? So we in Tinkos Village. We in Tinkos Village, Sonya Beach community. A precious full address there. Tingos Village, Sonya Beach. We have to know the Sonya Beach. You have to come to the station over the weekend, so we'll go see that beach there. You are our tour guy. Precious, you are our tour guy. We gotta know that Sonya Beach. But thank you for coming on, Precious Dekukai. Ambassador Walter Morgan Jr. said, so rescue puppets that are barking under our posts are qualified barking dogs. Okay, you said, Precious, you said you were at the station today? Oh, I was upstairs. I was upstairs in the office, but I don't know what time you came, but I've been here. But it's good. At least you met the other people. That's great. Matthew Choloplay said Daniel Sando, a head just big for nothing. And he uses words, but don't understand the meaning of those words. Emmanuel Broad said, according to the Guinean presidential spokesman, Ousmane Diallo, his government is about to build a wall, fortify military barracks in the Solomba border area in Foya. Yes. The next part of the interview that coming on tomorrow is there. Yeah. The guys are ready. The land is for them. Boaga give her. Madabio give her. Etta Gay writes, Boaga lied to the people of Liberia and sold our country. Okay, you want to say sold our country land? No, the land not for Liberia. They were just trying to give showmanship. Stephen Slide says, so why the soldiers are still in Liberia and no action from Boakai? Good question. Yeah, that's the same area. Edwin Hoff said, from what I heard, the guy who was explaining said the river, not the land, belongs to Guinea. That's the same area there. That's the same area, that whole area. According to Kamara, the communique they reach the Makona River and surrounding areas, according to him, belongs to Guinea. According to him.
Sir, you are the director of these historical agreements in 1912. There is another agreement between Guinea and Sierra Leone involving border demarcation carried out between 1882 and 1912. During colonial times, France and Britain, these agreements clearly define the borders. Conclusion. The presidents of Liberia and Sierra Leone agreed to respect these historical agreements, recognizing that the disputed areas belong to Guinea. Interviewer. So Guinea...
Did you get him, Edwin? He said recognizing the disputed areas, not the disputed area. He said the disputed areas. That whole place, the river, the land, wow, that whole region, that's what he's referring to, belongs to Guinea.
Agreements clearly define the borders. Conclusion. The presidents of Liberia and Sierra Leone agreed to respect these historical agreements, recognizing that the disputed areas belong to Guinea. Interviewer. So Guinea has not lost any territory? Mr. Kamara, absolutely not. Let it be clearly stated. No part of Guinea's territory has been occupied or given away. Everything remains under Guinea's authority, and this has been confirmed again during the summit.
How did you get him? The second part, he said every area belongs to Guinea. Every area. Matthew Choloplay, right? I strongly believe that someone from that meeting in Guinea told Yeke the truth about the land. Bapin Paul Lee said, wow, GMB came to power with lies and he will leave with lies. Perry Slobert writes, we say it that Boakai has sold the land for few pickups. Shame on those entire rapist UPs who brought this calamity upon the Liberian people. Philip Tukpa, this Boakai old man will run the nation into carnage before his term is over. Reginald Human, former lawmaker Representative Yeke Koluba, has been attacked in Ganta. Oh, okay. We'll do a follow-up on that. Matthew Cholo play on Guinea situation, say so Yeke was saying the truth. Then Boakai government was lying about the land. All right, let's go to the lines. Let's take your calls, and then that will be doing it for today. 0772-23-9933. You know the rest of it. Hello. Yeah, I'm doing good.
Okay, thank you. The man that calling the soldier, the man who they always call me and I'm pastor. You know, let me tell you something. When God speaks, nobody can back it. But only tell my brother Yeke, and carry rank, carry all the name, carry whole crew to Echo Wako, that the place McKenna had. You are talking and saying, talking nonsense. And see, God can speak. Anything I want to cover, it will losing. So me, I'm a soldier, but the 12th of Ezra, and I care. When God tell me say something, I don't speak. Yeah, I will come to that place and open up your above. Thank you, sir. God bless you.
Hello.
Good afternoon, Andrew.
Good afternoon.
Yeah, thank you very much for the show this afternoon. So we have been telling people of the country we are tired. We tired with war. We have been here for our smaller town, our parents, we do the war. We see how people die in the country. We tired with war, but you know when the people kind of power, the people just looking at they just like United States government. They get Democrat, they get Republican. Now the people looking. You know, when you're getting power, everybody can't pull the work for the country. I will see how I'm going to develop. But they refuse to do that. You see what they do to Yeke? You know, when Liberians come to tire of war, do you know now it's a total embarrassment in the country now? You know, it's not one district, whatever Yeke call about. They took people from all districts in Mozambique to go for Yeke is the thing. And you are disgracing the man from the other representative. Do you know that the people are put together to vote for the man? Do you know that when our people come outside?
All right, Chief.
Do you know the problem of the causing?
Thank you. Thank you so much. Hello?
Good afternoon, Mr. Andrews.
Hello? Hello? Hello, Chief. Hello? You are on the air.
Thank you, Sam. Good afternoon. And let me say good afternoon to those who are following the show. Sam, this is Hussein. I am Hussein Kew. I call from Caldwell in the Kew compound. Sam, thanks for the brilliant analysis this afternoon. So I'm very constrained, actually. In fact, Sam, one of the many reasons that President Boakai won the peace award this time was because of his involvement in resolving conflict in the region and the war at large. So these Guinea issues, Liberia continue to handle it the best way possible diplomatically. So Sam, if we think that we should be the one resolving conflict and on the other side also initiating conflict, then where are we as a country? Because we sit on the Security Council seat as non-permanent members. So what we would do as a country and as a respectful countries in the world, we ought to handle things diplomatic because people know and look up to Liberia for a whole lot in decision making when it comes to security issues. That is why you see other countries are looking up to Liberia, making decisions for them on the Security Council. That's why our president continues to win a war all across the world because of his, diplomatic stand in resolving some of these critical national issues. Though same to the other issue that has to do with former President Weah comment. As some people have to know, You are a Christian. I'm a Muslim, but I know the
No,
Bible and the Quran does not contradict.
not former president. We are comment. Say the comment of Daniel Sando, who
Okay, yeah,
failed
but
to know the difference
he
between
responsive
entitlement and
yeah,
personal gesture.
Yeah, his responsive was in line with what former president we have said. Look,
All right, Chief. Later.
No, I'm coming. Let me end, please.
Yeah,
Let me,
but hurry up the lines. All the lines are on.
quickly, Sam. So every president or vice president has immunity. So since this government took over, the president has instructed the Minister of Finance that no day, an hour, or second should pass that former President Weah and former President Salif, former vice president
you're in the government to say no hour or day pass. Hello? Hello? The women's line. Hello? Hello?
Hello?
Yeah, let's hear you, madam.
Yeah, this is my head. We're calling from St. Paul's Fish. Let me see, I go arrest me. You can't call about where you you can't call about where you you can't call about where you win a game. Can you win a game? Too happy. You see the kind of thing that can be going on? You see this kind of thing that can be going on for what reason? It's too disgraceful and too shameful. They think the president, the woman that next to the president that said, it's like the man is for Guinea. That is the thing you can say. And then the same thing. Then you could, and Wusu sitting down there, everything you want to something against and say this and that. What you want to say, yes, and Wusu, what are you talking? We know you, man. If you bring it, let me tell you, and you're ready to talk. You don't be doing a Wusu boy, yeah? Because we can be waiting for the call. Bye.
All right, mama. Have a nice day. Hello?
Good afternoon, Sanju.
Good afternoon.
Yeah, calling for justice. Concern library for justice.
Wait. I've been hearing that over the dates. Well, what kind of organization is that?
Concern library for justice.
Uh-huh.
Our organization, the last hour, opening the radio station.
I know. I heard you. I've been hearing most of you people on radio, Concerned Librarian for Justice. So, what kind of justice now?
Justice for the Liberian and justice for the poor. And justice we stand for. They will go to call that justice.
So it is non-political?
No, it's not political.
Oh.
Yeah. We are not political party. We just stand for justice.
But all of you people are partisans. You people are seditions.
Yeah, we are partisans, but we're not using partisanship because the reason why when you kill somebody, the court say the law will be the law. That person get justice, and the reason say we are the concerned Liberian for justice.
Oh, okay, I get the understanding now. All right, let's hear you.
Okay, thank you very much, Sanju. No, Sanju, I want to ask, and Daniel Sanoy say that Bwaka entitlement. They will not hear where Julie Brown gets sick in the country. Why they don't get Julie Brown entitlement before he die? They will not hear where Moses Black are sick in the country. Why they don't get Moses Black entitlement at that time before he die? Let me tell you, Sanju. The left preacher say, he said that the party is nine ungrateful leper because it's our board that go and pick you up and flew you from out of the country to go get medical treatment. If that board come to get a heart, you are going to leave you die. Because in not responsible boy, because he love you, and the reason will pick my power preacher and say, oh, let me tell you, they in Palestine, they get no argument that the reason see that no family, you go on ERPC, you say you want to defend. Nothing they can defend because it's a fight. Let me tell you, President, we are delaying not entitlement. The entitlement they were given to the man because the man stole the entitlement, and when he fell off, and it's so red, the man said, I beg you, my power won't die. And he said, I said, yeah, I gave the man entitlement, I'm not responsible. He took his personal money, and he said, Galasco, and the person you can say, go and take that paper, because I don't want for you to die. But your paper got better. He's the one thing from contact with that the memo can't down. So let me tell you, there are people that they know that your power is a useless woman. Thank you very much.
Have a nice day. Hello.
Good afternoon, sir.
Good afternoon.
This is Edmund Carr, and I remain visually impaired at the pushing for the return president. We are a proud member of Concerned Liberian for Justice. You know, that is why we asked Daniel Sando when he said that was Bwaka benefit or entitlement. We asked him to tell us what Boakai was earning as a former vice president monthly. Then when you calculate that, you come to year and you will know how much you're supposed to realize at the end of the year. And that incident that occurred, the money that was used, it can be somebody's benefit. If even you are taking pay, it can be your salary. Because the money was huge. The money was huge. For you to say it is a entitlement, then somebody say, oh, you know, maybe you're not giving your money. So I tell them, I said, but the kind of opposition we have at the time, if Boakai was 30 years and President Weah's government not allowing him get his benefit, you know what it could have meant for us? It could have been in the news. Okay? So all of that, it can hold water. The facts remain that President Weah used his goodwill, God first, making sure that Boakai received medical attention. What about the partisans that took him to the U.S.? Their own son could not go. At the time when they were requested so that one of them could have even traveled with Boakai, none of them could present passport. And there was no time left. They got to take somebody, one of us, to travel with him, taking care of him, bring him back to the country, only to endorse Weah campaign. Then people want to defend. There is nothing to defend. We are talking about him because of his ungratefulness. You don't have to be ungrateful to somebody. So it's nothing about entitlement. So if he clean, let him go and do all the investigation and bring all the CQ. How much was he making? And if it is entitlement, why whether he was not getting it or you're getting it, I know that you were getting it. If you are not getting it, we are going to be in it. No, look, the issue that has to do with Guinea, I don't know how the United Party guy will handle this thing. I don't really know how they will consider this thing. Because this is a complete revelation that has come up. Because this is why you listen to Yekesi, according to my soul, he didn't just say, Bromley, the land for Guinea. He said, according to my soul. And he also said, Boakai don't want to tell the Liberian people the meaning of that meeting. He know what to discuss in Conakry, Guinea. And here we are now. What are they going to say? So we are waiting for them. We hope that they'll be able to respond to this video that has come up tomorrow in the press briefing, so that we will know. Because this is something that they should be able to restore Yeke. Because what he said, it has come to pass. Because why are they sitting there? Why are they staying there?
All right,
so meaning was true. The play belongs to the people. That is why they don't want to do anything. Thank you.
Have a nice day. Hello. Hello? Hello? Let's go to the women's line. You're off, Mr. Gentleman. Hello?
Yeah, how you doing, Mr. Andrew?
I'm doing fine.
I'm patiently calling for people in memory concern Liberian culture. Mr. Andrew, what we've been saying for the past 2 months, that audio is validated argument. They put it wrong, for me, I said it on several platforms that it's not for that statement that was made by Yeke was removed. It is because it is insult. It is because Yeke is insulting President Boakai 24/7. But they don't want to be bold to tell us. Yeah, it shows it. You see, Mr. Andrew, it shows it. So we can always tell them, you know, the party people that we are informed. We are on top of the game. We are informed. You can't call back and lie, Mr. Andrew. You are yes. When they play the coup against Fonati Kofa, you can raise the red flag. You can say it. They say they are trying to remove you. Hey, happy, Mr. Andrew. You saw it.
All right.
So why you can always say it's true? Nobody can pay for you. The party you got to you can call about no Boakai. He said they for Guinea.
Okay.
They should say so they for Guinea.
All
So
right.
that if you may remove you can call about somebody say you got to
Hello? Hello? You're on the air.
Yeah, good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
Yeah, my name is Alvin Cheers from something Diamond Creek. Yeah, thank you so much for the students elucidation, straight to the issue. Yeah. Very bad for me to hear some people still praising this government, saying that the government has good international record. It's very bad for me because we either say that saying that the government has good international record, then why then didn't stay on our lane? Didn't get a soldier stay on our lane? General Baga, instead of General Baga won the first, General Baga passed all over lobbying, but still there's no solution. It stay on our lane. To be fair here, man, having this United Party government is here to be like a calamity, a real disaster to we the Liberian people. The mistake. We have made a complete accident to have the because has government officials. They lied to us to come to power, and they want to lie to us to maintain power. But come to the now, we are not going to relent. We are going to move strongly to see our best. We can bring back our developmental-oriented president, His Excellency George Okomana-Weah. So thank you very much. I rest my case.
Hello? Hello?
Yeah, hello, Andrew. Sorry, man. Yeah, this is Vivek. I can't call you from Bobby Modogo. Andrew, thank you for the show. I just want to tell you I think when you saw the tower, when you talk, I just want to make yeah, Mr. It is, yes.
Your line cracking, madam. Change your location. Hello.
Hello. Thank you very much. Good afternoon, Mr. Andrews.
Good afternoon.
Yeah, Mr. Andrews, thank you very much. Andrew, I'm Spencer Mohammed, and I come from down Coast Spoon Hill, Winter community, and a member of the Concerned Liberian for Justice. Mr. Andrews, you were asking us, the member of the Concerned for Liberian for Justice, we are an advocacy group that advocates for justice. The many lies that were told by this unity party in the last 6 years, and the many lies that is continued to be told by them today, this is why we organize ourselves to continually expose them and to the issue. Look, our advocacy have been validated. So going forward, what did they go against Yeke? Because Yeke, according to my source, the land belongs to Guinea. Now it's very validated by the 1912 agreement. So what will Joe Barker and Gangster says, if they look at Yeke Koluba, or if the Supreme Court rules the interest of Yeke Koluba tomorrow, you know, we always told Unity Party, you came to power on the mattress of lies, and you can continue to govern in lies. Governance is different from lies. And the next issue that has to do with Daniel Sano, you are saying that the assistance that were rendered to your incompetent presidential candidate at the time, Joseph Nyuma Boakai, was an entitlement. Let me ask you, where were you when Moses Black died in this country? Did he have entitlement? Where were you when former Minister Jiggins, the then Minister of Justice, Jiggins Cow, where were you when Jiggins Cow died in a dump site? Did he have entitlement? Look, you guys must wake up and start to appreciate President Weah for a good gesture. And to my friend Hussein Kewu, I think you guys continue to validate the statement made by your youth chair or your county chairperson that you guys are completely empty-headed and nothing you guys do. That's why you guys are carrying everywhere you guys go with application, when they ask you to validate your application, you always are running, and that's why you continue to run, because you market your limitation and what you are doing. Mr. Andrew, thank you very much for always giving us the opportunity to make our presence on national issue. Thank you very much.
Good afternoon. Women's
Good afternoon, St. Andrew. This is Council.
Yep.
I only concerned about the people coming to take our land. So the country in for Pakayalun, that you go some people, we all tell the people,
the people coming to take way now, Elder Council way. You say the people coming to do what?
I said the land is not for here alone. To go and do everything we all tell in the Liberian.
But the land not for Liberia, the land for Guinea.
So okay, I hear that one. So that anything you can consult us. When they hear you take decision. Okay, number one. Number two.
But you not hear before that Joseph Boakai or United Party people try to get the views of the people.
Okay. So let you call your keba. Let them talk call your keba. You see the country with two lane. The best show our country. That is better keep on say for the land they put together. Commissioner chief of security. The two put in the horse they put together to feed to devour money our taxpayer money to say the movie yeke. We only appealing to them. Let them put yeke ba.
You can go back over there. You get done with them.
You sure, Baba?
Yeah, you get lead them with their conscience. You get finished with them.
Okay.
All right, man. Have a nice day. Hello? Yes?
I'm Jefferson Sleba calling from the Virgin Speaker District, District number 11. Mr. Andrew, my question here is, all those times, I can say almost 200 years plus, all the presidents that have been in power, they played a diplomatic role. They knew that the land was for Guinea. And all the previous presidents, King and Pat, Manasari King and Pat, there were no laws. And George Weah, who they say he was not educated, he don't know anything about leadership. The King and Pat, why now Baka administration, Guinea coming to clean the land? Why is it Baka regime is happening? My second question is, if no land is truly belong to Guinea, our citizens that pay on our land, what become of them? And so, if there is any means, Baka should find me that if we can purchase that land from the Guinea to remain in Liberia, they can do so because you know
what kind of thing you talking so? They might buy the land from Guinea?
If for them now, we can negotiate and buy land because of our citizens.
Because of what now? Because they get 1.2 billion budget?
For the that done 1.2 billion budget, I just buy more. 1.2 billion budget was in progress. The sound supplementary budget again.
All right, thank you, Chief. Thank you for having your say. Hello. Good afternoon.
Yeah, this is the I want Daniel Sano. It's a not president. Lying to die in the country, you buy a diet. The people. But now I am coming to me. Yeah, when you see me nowhere, don't come at me. That's it. That's what I said.
All right. All right.
You're still happy. You don't swear by it.
All right. Thank you. Have a nice day. Hello. You are on the air, Chief.
Yeah.
Hello. Hello. Hello.
Yeah, hello, Sam. How are you?
I'm fine.
Yeah, thank you for the show. My name is Abraham Nima. I come from Crystal Police. Yeah, they told I have wisdom and have a lot of experiences. So if that be the case, like he went over there, even if the people prove by paper, now the land belongs to them. So she just unilaterally agree and sign paper. We now reach the legislature so that they all can brainstorm and think how best they can do it. So if you were just some people paying in president, it didn't the right way to do it. I'm here, if I go somewhere and then somebody want to talk about my land, I don't want to take it. I see I'll tell them I'm going to my children to visit them so they can see how best or what is reason for which I'll be taking the land over. It's just what you do it, you alone. Seriousness. So thank you, Baba.
Hello.
Hey, G-Spano.
Hey, the sports woman.
Okay, thank you for that. Thank you very much. You make me proud of this. Thank you very much. So, Samuel, I will be your ambassador for Kings and come up for us.
Oh,
You know what I'm saying? Oh,
but
I'm telling you now.
your title, your piece award, really adding up. Oh, that small piece award. Doctor,
Ambassador.
yeah, sportswoman, G's partner, now ambassador.
Et pour la personne, on dit, my names are, that's a name all of. C'est ma propre voix, my names are.
Rachel Gear.
After what you work for that moment, yeah.
They will call you to give you your piece award for all your titles.
I gotta be the person between the common people out here and Kiss FM to relate to them because who do pay the first thing here? Who is that? I mean, Master, what happened to the Kiss FM? We go there and then I get Master, what happened to Andrew? What happened to Sam Andrew? What happened to Eddie? What happened to President? We are so that many ambassadors between the common people and Kiss FM to be relating to them. So that's my suggestion. So to the issue, Sam. So why the men say about Guinea Bowler so that you or a four? What the men say about Guinea that you or a four?
Who men?
What going? Oh, man, this is yeke.
Ah, you yeke? You die your knee yeke now? You're not
My knee is lele yeke. You hear that knee? My son, you can't fire. You need to
you that knee, that exposure knee, you.
Oh, what exposure?
They will expect you.
We can go for your damn. You can't expect me for the place. I'm not in the parliament. In my own resident. So they can't expect me from my own resident.
Anybody will you can expect you.
So what the man said, who was fighting the man at the parliament, or House of Parliament today, he has chauffé. The man told you can't tell all that. You ask Bwaka, let you tell the people what's falling, what's going on to that book. Let me say the truth to the people. Won't get no update. You want to post the people, what they say? What they post to us? That they should tell the Bwaka when they is fine. He came by the next day, they came 5 o'clock in the morning and take about the they said they go do diplomatic talk. Today, they have reached a point where they break our son for today. He's like at the hospital. He said that they're taking somebody from the parliament because he said the place for Guinea give it to Guinea. Because the man saw it coming, the man know what happened. What they get you pick up for? The man too active. What they put get you pick up? What they get you pick up? They post on our general rescue. What ran away from them? You get 10 men went to the police today. They forget get their son in Guinea. The lawyer then here want to for that case today, they put it on the carpet. What going on in our country? When the government are in power today. All what they talk against. Then we're talking we're coming power will do X, Y, Z, will do they will do that today. What going on in Bwaka? They will come and lie when you go to the insult your ball at the information ministry. So that plane I bet dedicated with the master and passport. They also will come in court. Will come in court, the post door when you talk say you better re-erect. When we are coming and say, oh, let the door, and they say, we are calling for door. So this morning, yesterday, I told Pierre, I said, the man is singing soprano. You're not calling for the door yet? He's singing soprano. What do you mean calling for door? If let the door out, like la coffee. The man is for door, he's singing soprano. You can't understand, go to the Bible and go read. Go to the church, go to the soprano voices. The one for the way he's singing it, they say, calling for door. You put defending the door name, that the call out door in the spot. You put defending it.
All right, this partner.
Then you can't talk about pastor. So the folks there when they give it to them. Well, for give it, take it. We don't want that for 1 billion.
But nothing there that you are saying when if for Guinea, the Mongeto Guinea. Guinea said that the land, the people feeling with it. The people say that document they signed, understand it good. Yeah. The man say, the man who the big man for the army, the man who can speak for the army in Guinea.
Okay.
The man say the document that Bwaka then signed. They say the land, the river, the land around that river is for Guinea.
It's for Guinea.
That document there, they call it communique. Before they sign that document, the people brought the 1907 agreement. They looked into it. That 1907 agreement say that play for Guinea. So Bwaka and Mada Bio say, but we ain't get nothing to do anything here. And we sign Guinea take it so that Guinea land. That's what the man was explaining.
Okay, so like in there, what the
next thing when they start, you cannot lie to us. We're telling you the truth. Say you know what? No, the better for you get back to his position. And they say the last you let the go back to Guinea, but the problem is of disgrace to the country. No matter they put lie too much. Then they put lie. Anything they go for when you go check behind it.
All right.
That is the way they can't get affected. Say police for peaceful. They come by and say, oh, the 20 people are there. It's new information begging you. You have the traffic now. Can you imagine that?
All right, G partner.
They expect people to come and bring the investor in the country to come invest and say, well, why that way?
All right.
Oh, let Buko administration. Oh, let Baka administration. Let the criminal administration. It will work that way. It will not work.
All right, G partner. Okay, all right, Ambassador. Hello.
Good morning.
Yes.
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 Yeah, I called the sister on the show.
Yeah, you on the show.
Okay, I just want to appreciate you for all the analysis made. And I'm Kennedy Morris, according to Grand Bassa Pichana. Monitoring the program is called the state power. You know, this government came into power with lies on all angles. And everything they are doing from the president down, they are doing everything with the intention of doing enough of mistake. They mean what they are doing intentionally to just destroy this country. Because you cannot take over a country that you say everything that was wrong yesterday, today it was right, and you go ahead just doing anything that you feel like doing. You don't have regard for the rule of law, the very organic law that will make you to be in leadership. You don't respect it. What will happen if the citizens now will get on their feet, pay themselves, and begin to take respect for the very organic law that makes you to be in leadership? What are you going to do? What will you say? So my brother, we got to keep on praying and thank God that those that lie, like Spoon FM, to bring the government to power, and all supporters, they are regretting of what they did. They are regretting because they see what is happening in the country and how the very men they protest for the coming to power, how you refer to them as so they are passing nonsensely. Thank you very much for having me on the show.
Thank you for coming on to appreciate all of you for spicing up the show. Thank you so much. Let's go home this way. You people who are in the musical industry, you need to learn, study maturity. If not, many of you not going to experience the kind of prosperity in your craft that you want. Already, most of you in the musical industry in Liberia are complaining that people not buying your songs, the people don't like Liberian songs, and your behavior has to be one that will leave people to stick around with you. When you allow political atmosphere, when you want to tread the same path of the sentimental politicians, you want to be heard, you mess yourself up. If some of you continue the way you people are continuing, it might likely affect you. I say this because there's this musician called Sasu Boy. Sasu Boy. He came out to say that he was getting illegal money from CDC government, that he wasn't employed at the Ministry of Gender, Children, and Social Protection, but he was getting paid from there. Now, this is, I don't want to use the word normal in the true sense of the word normal, but It is the situation by which people assist some way, somehow. This government is doing the same thing. This government has certain journalists that are on payroll. You will not see the name Joe Public, but they are receiving money. There are people from the other areas who the government create means by which they can sustain themselves, they can do a lot more. These opportunities government will create. Former President Ellen Johnson Sirleaf did that to help many young people aspire in their craft or their discipline. Besides sending them to school, giving them scholarships, developing this thing called the some special presidential something or something. Young people who go to school in the president's office. Some of them were not doing anything much, but they were receiving 1 or 2 per dimes. Former President Weah comes to power, he does the same thing. It helps a number of people. We journalists, people in the other area, different ways. People receive monies in different ways. When the leader is doing it, you don't see it as something that the leader ought not to do. How can this Sasu boy, a musician, say that the CDC government was giving him illegal money? He knew that the money was illegal. He did not refuse the money. He was receiving it. He knew that he was not an employee at the Ministry of Gender, Children, and Social Protection, but he acted like he was an employee there, and he was being paid for a service that he wasn't rendering. Because few Unity Party people now, XYZ, whatever the situation, he comes on the air and says CDC government was giving him illegal money. He was not working. That he was not working at the Ministry of Gender and Children, Ministry of Gender, Children, and Social Protection. He wasn't, but he was receiving money. Why? He ought to be arrested and prosecuted. Now, why that will not happen? It puts people now in their respective position to hold on whatever their assistance they will want to render any one of these musicians because they see immaturity in them. Immaturity. That's complete immaturity. If somebody help you whichever way, whether you are receiving illegal money or legal money, move on with your craft. This Unity Party government would never ever help you, Sasu, in any given way. If you think because coming out to say that you were CDC was giving you illegal money, and so Unity Party going to increase or they're going to help you in your musical stuff, you have messed yourself up. My young man, let me say to you, you will not go anywhere in your musical stuff. You mess yourself up. You are the first person, the first musician in this country to stoop so low childishly to say that. Your friends around you, they've been receiving. You think they can come up? Unity Party did that. The very people who you want to please today, they did that normal thing. They're even doing it now. So let's assume you want to get favor from Unity Party, and that favor to get support, to get monetary support. Is that the right way to do that? You just mute yourself. It's going to affect you. And let us say thanks to Josino. Today he paid his respect to his political leader and father, former President George Weah, and they had a nice time. Now listen, Unity Party, Sasu, Unity Party can never promote you, my Peking. You mess yourself up. George Weah can take Josino at any level, can take him to the peak, because George Weah is just that man who can do it. He has done it for hundreds of thousands of people. Unity Party can do it for you. You just immature, Sasu boy. You just immature. Unity CDC government are giving illegal money. At the Ministry of Gender, Children, and Social Protection, I was not working. I was not employee there. I was receiving illegal money. What's that? You see who will be giving you. Let United Party give you the legal money now. I see you, yeah. Immaturity in the musical industry. No wonder you can go far in this thing. Okay, that's all the time we've got. Thank you ever so much to be with us on the show. We're back tomorrow, if God permits. Join us at 6:45 when Isaka Sharif and Joseph Impello Johnson are in with CDC Hour. And then at 8 o'clock, you know exactly what it is. Who is it? The doctor himself, the man of the hour, the man of the night, the teacher of the land, the light of the nation, the Anthony at Law, the evangelist, A.B. Weird, with Face the Issues.
From the latest news to your favorite tunes, we've got your back morning, night, and afternoon. Join our family, connect with your crew. Kings FM 88.5, just for you. From the latest news to your favorite tunes, we've got your back morning, night, and afternoon.